What's my sin? What's my sin? What's my sin?
Hi.
Hello. Hi.
Good. How are you?
How are you?
Good, good.
Thank you so much for your time.
Sure.
You're used to being a front person. You're used to the attention and the adoration.
Well, I mean, there's not like a ton of adoration. I mean, there's plenty and there's more than enough for me, but it's not like we're a pretty underground band.
I actually saw you just on your recent tour with Mudhoney.
Oh, right.
And it was funny because there were so many people coming up to you going, I love you, and you're like, what?
Yeah, that always throws me for a loop.
Yeah, you're very humble, but we do love you. But now the Saints, how did that come about? Did you know Ed Kuepper or?
I've only recently been on a Zoom call with him. I have
Right.
never met.
When was the first time you heard the Saints? Do you remember?
I don't remember exactly. It would have been in sort of like the fog of punk rock discovery. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of things I can't pinpoint that happened over 40 years ago.
Yeah. Now, having to learn all these songs, the 3 albums, how are you going with that?
I'm going pretty good right now. I feel a little bit stuck on know your product, no comma your product. That one, it's like 2 pages of words, and they come relentlessly. And I kind of feel like maybe I got the first 2 verses.
It's a great song. It's
an amazing song. It's an
It's
amazing song,
legendary.
but it's daunting. The whole thing is like kind of really intense for me. Because I've been listening to them for such a long time, and like the Saints are one of those bands. There's like a lot of bands like when you first get into punk rock or whatever. Like like I can't really think of the last time I listened to 999. But the Saints, like they're always there. They're always like it's there might be like a couple of months where I didn't play them, but like then I'd play a record again. You know what I mean? It's like they're a huge part of the fabric of kind of like Mudhoney and like a bunch of people I know. And when I got announced, like my wife put something up on her Facebook, and people were, our friends were just like, "Holy shit!" I mean,
is there any band that you would love to be lead singer of?
No, I don't really go looking for that kind of thing. It's happened a couple of times, just on weird confluence of events, like when the remaining members of the MC5 in 2004 wanted to do a tour, and they had like this plan to have a rotating cast. And I was supposed to join that tour after Mark Lanigan, but Mark Lanigan like got cold feet at the last second, so I had to like kind of come in without much time to prepare.
Well, you were brilliant in Melbourne. I saw that tour.
Yeah. I mean, that was a lot of fun. I feel like I learned a lot just like by playing with those guys.
Back to the Saints and the tour. Do you think you'll be expanding it at all?
Well, I think I first have to pass the audition.
Oh, you've already passed. I think everyone does.
I mean, like before, I mean, you mean like going elsewhere outside of Australia?
Yeah.
Tim has kind of floated the idea.
Yeah,
Nothing that I know of concrete has happened, but
yeah,
gave him like windows of my time that,
yeah. Because you're touring with Mudhoney.
not yet. We will
Yeah,
be in uh at the end of August, at the end of next month.
yeah. How do you feel about touring?
We do it pretty intensively when we do it, but
Yeah,
there's usually just like like we're going to be gone for about 6 weeks this fall, and that is the only tour we've done all year.
wow. Yeah, yeah,
Um, I mean, it's a little more difficult with Guy living in Melbourne.
yeah. That's why you should just keep coming back to Melbourne.
Well, I know. I'm trying to get him to adopt me.
Oh, we'll adopt you. Anyone in Melbourne will adopt you. Don't worry about that. So, with touring and with Australia in particular, are there any moments that really stand out for you?
Well, I mean, the first time we came down, it was just sort of like, oh, holy shit, I can't believe we're here, and especially kind of
Yeah,
so early. Uh, we'd only been together for 2 years.
yeah,
Um, uh, and Australia was, kind of legendary in our minds. Like to us, like the underground scenes in Australia and the US were the healthiest and
yeah.
had the kind of the coolest shit going on.
So you said you don't tour much these days. So how did you cope with COVID and all the lockdown? I know it feels like a while ago, but
Well, we didn't, as the band, we didn't see each other until we all got vaccinated. Guy was working, he was like the COVID coordinator at the local trauma hospital. So I think the rest of us had a little fear of getting together with him. And, I think, and every, we were all trying to like, do our diligence and, keep,
yeah.
keep everyone healthy. We did get together once at the unveiling before the vaccines. It was outdoor event for the unveiling of a tunnel boring machine that was named after us.
Wow,
Um,
that's great.
yeah, that was an odd one. Um, I'm. I mean, this is kind of coming from, I guess, like sort of a place of privilege because I had a job that I could go to, that I could
Yeah,
work by myself at. Like we staggered shifts at the warehouse
yeah.
at Sub Pop. And I'm, somewhat of an introvert, and in a way, I kind of felt off the hook.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, there are very important things that I missed, and missed hanging out
Yeah.
with friends and stuff, but
Mm.
obligations just sort of fell by the wayside, which was kind of nice
Yeah.
for a little while. A little while.
I think it was a lot longer here because we had so many
Oh, oh,
lockdowns.
you had, yeah, you had kind of severe lockdowns. Like, yeah, because the guy couldn't. He had planned on emigrating like about a half a year, almost a year earlier, and he couldn't get
Yeah.
in. Like they were still
Yeah.
quarantined.
Now, I know I've taken up a lot of your time, so I'm just going to leave you with two questions. When you think of the Saints and you think of their music, how would you describe it in food form?
Never really attempted this one. If you think of the first three records, they're like each of them is pretty unique, and you
Yeah,
should, like, but food, I don't know.
it's okay.
Yeah,
What
yeah,
about
yeah.
what about with Mudhoney in food form?
I'm not sure if I'd want to eat that.
And the last question, our magazine's called What's My Scene? So what is your scene?
It's a couch full of little fluffy dogs.
I love it. I love it. Okay. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Well, thank you, Mary.
And look forward to your tour very soon.
All
Good
right.
luck with all the rehearsing and know your product.
Yeah. No, your product, comma. One must respect the comma.
Thanks so much, Mark. Have a great day or
Sure
night,
thing, Mary.
evening.
Yeah, it's this
Thanks.
evening. It's 4:20. Whoa. 4:20, it's the thing, I guess.
Well, it's perfect, isn't it? You can have a
Uh,
break now.
yeah. Except I got another interview. I need to have my wits about me.
Oh, you have got another interview. I'm sorry if I went over the time.
No, you haven't. Everything's good.
Okay, great. See you in Melbourne. Bye.
All right. Thank you, Mary.
What's my sin?